Hello everyone, my name is Laji Iren, the lady with the channel that has over 100,000 subscribers. Gay. I don't know when you'll be watching this, but I think it's still a happy new year to you. Welcome to 2025, the year of legacy. I'm so excited to be with you today, and this should be the month of February when you're watching this. So I'm doing relationship series on some topics that I've most likely never done before, or maybe on a couple of topics that I have done something on before. But the problem is this: some of you have not subscribed to this channel and you wish to learn from the channel. I don't know how that's possible. If you really want to understand what I'm saying, you have to first of all subscribe. Then there'll be a supernatural way you'll be able to decode what I'm saying. If you don't subscribe, anyway, please subscribe to my channel and follow me for more content on love, life, and faith. And don't forget to comment on this video. Just say I'm excited to be here. And if you haven't congratulated me on my 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to congratulate you because you're one of them. So congratulations to us. Yay! Today I'm going to be talking about how to support your partner's dreams. How do you support your partner's dreams? Let's say you have somebody who's doing business or doing ministry, or they have a career goal that they have in mind, or they're running an NGO. At what point do you even support this person? Do you wait until they've blown and then I say, I always knew you could make it. I always knew you would make it. I always knew you would do well in life. Or do you support them from the beginning? And what about people who supported their quote and unquote, this is not being judgmental, but their broke boyfriend or their broke girlfriend, and when the person now blows, the person abandons them? What do you do then? And some people say that's why I don't like to invest in people, because you invest in people, you suffer with them. When they now blow, they will forget you. But we also have to get to the point where we realize that you are in a relationship to add value to the other person, and not simply to collect. It's not a business transaction. So if you are with a partner who you'd like to support, whether in a dating relationship or in a marriage, this video is for you. The first thing I would say is that you must have a heart and a mindset to support your partner. If you see marriage or relationship as a competition, you're going to be in for serious trouble. And no matter how much you try, if you don't have the right heart, it's going to be difficult to support your partner. So the first thing to do is to just really have a heart that wants this person to succeed. When I was trying to decide whether or not to date my husband of 10 years now, I remember him just first of all being a friend. And even as a friend, there were things that he did that made me feel like this guy really believes in me. So I used to run a charity organization called Have You Eaten? And one of our first outreaches at Have You Eaten was to feed the security men in my university at that time. And I remember just doing that in the cafeteria. And this guy who was my friend and also somebody that I was following in ministry at the time, because it was a youth ministry at the time, he came with an envelope. It was 1,500, and he said, this money is from me and from the ministry. We just want to support what you're doing. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I was not in love, but I was in love. And this was a friend, but it touched me. It's been at least 15 years, and I still remember it till today. So you must have that heart where you're not thinking of how you're going to suffer somebody's son or of how you're going to stress somebody's daughter. Some of you, before you even enter a relationship, you need to heal from whatever it is you went through, either in your childhood or your previous relationship. Heal from the person that hurt you so that you don't hurt the next person. But you must have this mindset that if God has called me to be this person's wife, or God has called me to be this person's husband, it means that they must bloom more in their relationship with me than they did before they got into a relationship with me. Because God's going to ask you about the gifts and the talents of this person. Take a look at a woman like Deborah. The Bible says that she will sit under Deborah's tree every day and judge, but she was also the wife of Lapidoth. Very demure, very cutesy. Right? So you must have a heart that first of all wants to support. That intentionality must also be there. So number one, have a heart that wants to support this person and I want to see this person thrive, and know that you and this person are a unit. So them winning at something doesn't mean that you are not going to win. When they win, you both win. I remember doing an interview and they asked me, they said, wait, you are doing filmmaking, your husband is doing filmmaking. And the person said, you started before him. And I said, are you serious? And the person said, but your husband made 100 million in film. How did you feel? I say, who made 100 million? It's not my husband, my husband. So in other words, his win is my win. And what that means is that when I want to do something like that next time, I have an example to look out for. I have an example to say, I know this person that did it. I can ask this person questions. But when you see that relationship as a competition, like, this person is doing, may I have to do my own. Let her not outshine me. Let him not outshine me. Then we really miss what God has called us to do. Because by God's grace, my husband made 100 million. If you have not seen What About Us, you should see it. He made 100 million on that film. And next film, he will make like 1 billion, right? But the truth is that beyond what you and your partner are doing, there is a whole big world out there that God has called us to. And if you're too focused on competing with your partner, you miss the fact that both of you are supposed to work together against the world, because there are bigger fish to fry out there. There are bigger mountains to slay. Sorry, there are bigger giants to slay. There are bigger mountains to climb. So don't see your spouse as your opposition. See them as one with you. And that means that it's an honor and a privilege to support them and everything that they do. So number 1, heart. Number 2, intention. So you need to ask questions like, what can I do to help you? Sometimes you might need to take initiative. But the thing about taking initiative is you also want to be sure that it is the kind of initiative that works for the person. Don't go and say, I took loan from my office, 10 million. Take. I put it in our family name. Take the loan. We'll be paying 25% interest per year. So you want to make sure that while you are being intentional and you're taking initiative, you are not also doing, it's one thing to love people the way you want to be loved. Another thing is to love them the way they want to be loved, or the way they want to be supported, or the way they want to be supported. So you must understand the way this person identifies support. But I'm going to get there when I talk about my next point, which is communication. But I want to dwell on intention. You need to wake up every day and ask yourself, what can I do to support this person? Please take notes. Dating relationship is different from marriage. So if you just started dating somebody 1 month ago, don't make the person a signatory to your account so that they can be accessing money anytime they need to, or give them your ATM card. You are just getting to know this person. I always say that courtship times love intelligently and marriage times love blindly. So you can support in a dating relationship. That's good. It doesn't always have to be financial, even though financially makes sense. I remember giving my husband one amount of money like this for his last birthday. See, the money was not plenty. In fact, that month I had collected more money from him than that money. And after his birthday, that I gave him, no, it was anniversary, that I gave him that money for, I still collected even more money from him. But I was like, where can I get new notes? So I packaged it with some gifts. And I remember when he saw the money, he said, you gave me money. He was so excited. He was so happy. I'm like, this money is not even plenty. But I think that men especially are used to being in a situation where they do a lot for, of course, I know women do a lot, but where they do a lot financially and don't really get appreciated in return. And if you're a lady watching this, spoil that man, especially a man that has proved himself to be a loyal, faithful man. Spoil him, spend your money. Let him even chop your money, small or big. So I mentioned having the heart, I mentioned intention, but I also really want to mention communication, because sometimes there's a tendency to overstep. For someone like me now, I like my husband to rest. But there have been times where, in a bid to get him to rest, I will now go and start telling people, he's busy, no. Don't stress him, he's on leave, he's on this. And so when you begin to do things like that, you might put yourself in a situation where this is not the way this person would like to communicate. So understand what this person's boundaries are. And now, as I've grown older in marriage, I learned to understand what his boundaries are. And then know that you are not their mom. And this goes both ways too. Know that you're not their mom, so you can suggest some things. But when you communicate, you might realize that maybe that thing you wanted to buy for his business or her business might not be the best thing. But that maybe if you just really spend some more time with the children and allow this person to have the time to focus more on that brand or on that business, it might help. Communication also means that you're not just being critical. Why did you post this? Why did you do this like this? Why did you write so? Sometimes your partner doesn't need an additional coach. You don't even need an additional mentor. Sometimes you can mentor your partner, but you don't always need that. You just need someone to tell them you're doing a good job. And then if you're giving criticism, let it not be too often, right? So communication will help you know what this person needs and how best to be there for them and how best to help them. How best can you help your partner By creating a peaceful, loving atmosphere where they can thrive. See, not everybody needs their spouse to help them to pack orders. Although it might not be a bad idea to help your spouse to get clients. When I wrote my book, Selfies Survival Girls, it's so many people that sold that book with my husband and my dad. People come to the office and my husband say, have you bought my wife's book? My dad will carry plenty of books to his office as well. So getting clients for the person, that's nice. Speaking to people about this person's brand, that's nice. Doing publicity, that's nice. But I think we must also look beyond that to simply creating a peaceful, enabling environment for your partner to thrive. Like, if you spend all the money in the world on this person, or you tell everybody in the world about this person's business, but you are constantly creating a combative atmosphere that is difficult for this person to create, difficult for them to have peace, difficult for them to even think of taking jobs, then you can do better. No relationship is perfect, nobody's perfect, but I believe that creating that peaceful environment where this person can simply thrive, it's so important and cannot be underestimated. All right, so peace is an important way. Peace and love. Oh my God, peace and, have you ever, sometimes you ask a man, what can I do for you? Say, you know what, as long as I have peace, I'm good. So peace, peace and love. So how else can you help your partner? Prayers are so important. There's a tendency to become overly familiar with someone that you see on a daily basis. Like, well, they're fine, we shall. Take out time to intentionally pray for your partner. There are some things that God will show you about your partner if you prayed for them more consistently. There is a kind of peace and wholeness and oneness you guys will experience if you prayed for each other. So praying together important, good, definitely. But also really taking time to pray for this person as a prayer point. Not just praying about the parts of them you want them to change. This my babe, she's too stubborn. This my husband to be does not see a word. I just wish he would be more romantic. Beyond praying for the things you want for them, pray about the things that God has called them to do. You need to be able to see their vision, embrace it, and speak well of it. And that will help you greatly. That will help you greatly. Speaking well of it will help you greatly. Praying for your partner will also help you greatly. And when you pray, God will show you the more ways that you can be a blessing to this person. But I think when it comes to supporting your partner's hopes and dreams, one thing that is very, very important is realizing the things that you should not do. If you consistently talk on your partner's work in an argument, it doesn't matter all the nice things you've said. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter all the nice things you've said before now, right? So you must be very, very intentional about making sure that, number one, you don't say things that are contradictory. Because it's one thing for someone to insult you. It's not only for the person to insult the work that you do. I feel like insulting the work that you do is even deeper. So don't downplay, don't belittle, don't try to jeopardize the opportunities out of jealousy. So that's the reason why I talked about your heart from the very beginning. You must be very, very intentional about the things that you do not do, right? No matter how bad things are. Because if you're going to be with somebody for life, you want to make sure that when they look back on their winning moments, you were on their winning side. And when they look back on their difficult moments, especially in their brand or in their business or in their career and their lives, you were not the cause of that. All right. Another way to support your partner, generosity. If you are dating someone that is selling something, buy for your friends. So support their business, patronize them, be their customer. I think it's important. Let me talk about ministry for a bit. If you're with somebody that is doing ministry, for example, it's important that beyond your personal conviction about the relationship, you also have personal convictions about the ministry itself. So, for example, I really love my husband. I really have strong convictions about him. But Celebration Church on his own, I have a special love for the ministry. Like I tell people, I say I love God. But you see the God of Celebration Church, I love him so much. So you must have that personal conviction about the work that they do. But I also think it's important that you are able to discern whoever you are marrying from the very beginning. I don't believe in marrying someone you don't believe in. If this person is pursuing a job, a career, or they are in ministry, if you don't really see it for them, and you guys are single, you're not yet married, you're still in a dating relationship, that might be a sign that maybe you shouldn't be there. Because if indeed God has called you to be in that relationship and God has called them to do that thing, you will see it. There will be such a personal conviction. It won't even be as if, oh, I'm trying so hard to believe in this person. I also believe that it's important to use wisdom in all that you do. So I mentioned maybe in a dating relationship, you just started. Don't be in a rush to just give person your money because you love them. So there should still be a reasonable track record. Before this babe brings her eyes at you and say, please, I need 3 million for my business, which other businesses has she done? Does she have a business plan? I saw a lady pitching to her husband and her baby the business she wanted to do. And I'm like, this makes sense because it helps the person take things even more seriously, right? So all the things I've said are important. Take what applies to you, whether in a dating relationship or in a marriage. But just make sure that even if you're with someone for a short time, maybe you guys are in a talking stage, they are better because of you. If you are with someone for a long time, you guys have been dating, planning to get married, they are better because of you. And what God has called them to do is even more possible because they have you in their lives, as opposed to it being even more difficult because they have you in their lives. Some of you, what you need to do is just make sure you don't stress this person. Just make sure you don't frustrate them. Just give them permission and allowance. Just get a message. Some people might say, why do you need to take permission from a man? The truth is that if you are married, especially as a lady, and you want to marry somebody that can frustrate, and the person that you're married to wants to frustrate you, they can. Even as a guy, if you're married and the person wants to frustrate you, they can. So make up your mind that you won't take your hurt out on this person, that you will go out of your way to really be the person that God has called you to be in their lives, and that you will be a blessing to them. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. God bless you.